I added dino tracks to a blanket, and now every kid is obsessed. So here is how to add it to your blanket. Screenshot this, because this is your little graph for where to pull up your loops. Start pulling up loops in your accent color, whatever color you want your prints to be, and go from underneath and pull it up to about 2 finger widths for each loop. You're going to go straight up in all of these little markers that I kind of placed out, and go up in the middle first on that middle track first, and you'll kind of see why when we do the rest of this. And this one I already cut my working yarn, so I don't have to, but you would cut your working yarn. And then take that second loop and go through the first, third loop through the second, and keep going like this, stitching these stitches right onto the surface of that blanket. And then once you get to right up here, you're going to take that tail end that you cut and put it through that next hole up. Be sure to put it through the next hole up, because then you're going to put it through the back of this loop. And then this right here, you want to make kind of a little nail up there, or a pointy part, so you'll go 1 loop ahead of that and push that right back in. Then you'll want to grab more yarn. We're going to pull up loops in this right hand side here, and this is right next to where the first one is. And then we go over 1 and pull up 2 loops, and then we're going to go over 1 again and up and pull up another loop. And that's going to kind of give you that angle that you want. It looks weird right now, but I promise it'll give you that angle. So take the second loop and go through the first, third loop through the second. It felt kind of twisted there, so I had to put that back in just like this. And then if you keep going, then you're going to have that angle that you want to your little track here. We're going to do the same thing right here. Cut your working yarn. Mine's already pretty much cut. I might cut it again because it's pretty long. And then take that tail through a hole that's ahead of where your last loop was. Put it through the back, and then you'll want a little nail on there, so go ahead and put it through 1 loop ahead of where you're at. Let's do our next toe here. So grab some more yarn, and this is basically mirroring what we did on this other side. So be sure that your loops are 2 fingers wide when you're pulling them up, because that's going to give you more of a puffy part to your track here. And then you're going up 1, and then right here you're going up 1 and over 1 as well. Then you'll come back to the front here and go to your first loop. Take that second loop through your first loop, third loop through the second loop, and so on until you get out to the end of the toe here. And then we're going to go underneath and probably cut the working yarn. I think I had a little bit longer here, unless that tail isn't. Nope, the tail wasn't as long. So cut your working yarn if it's long. And this tail, want to bring up 1 loop ahead of where you're at to put it through the back. And then we'll want a nail on there, so put it ahead 1 hole and then pull it to the back. And we'll secure those on the back here in just a minute. So what we want to do here, since we don't really have a little pad part, whether they had that or not, I don't know, but we're going to add that. And just bringing those little toes down, it didn't look very. So we're going to make 4 loops. 1 is right in the bottom of this toe right here. Same loop as we started with up there. Go down 1, and then we're going to go over to 1 below that middle toe. This is 1 below that next toe, and then we're going to go in right here where that third toe started. And that's the same loop right there. So right here, we're going to go second through the first, third through the second, and this is just kind of how you stitch it right onto that blanket. And then keep going right here. And this last one, we're actually we got to cut the working yarn back here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this loop right here that we had at the last all the way through. So we have a tail end up here, and put this tail end in right back in that hole that it came from, And then you can kind of fluff these out a little bit so that it covers each other here. And basically here is your print. Now we're going to fuse it on the back side. So right here on the back side, I'm just cutting each one to have a clean cut on them. And then we're going to fuse these ones up here back to the same color that's on the blanket here. Then these lower ones we're going to fuse to each other. And then there's one extra, so I just fuse it right to. And that is how you can put some cool dinosaur tracks on your blanket. I would love to be tagged if you do this.